why do we use his last name, Baba, as compared to Meher? I mean, we do it all the time. It's automatic, but
But
it
the
seems
thing
odd.
is, but because now, soon after that, when his name was given out as Meher Baba and all that, so many Babas proliferated. And so many Babas came into existence. And they will say, Baba, Baba has said this. Which Baba? You see. So they would mix up the Babas, you see. So therefore it is imperative for us to use Meher Baba.
No, but my question is, among ourselves, we always think of him as Baba, not as Meher.
Yeah.
Why is it that we use the last name? Because normal relationships with people, you always refer to the person by their first name. Usually, you're Eric and Jack. We use our first names, but with Baba,
Because Baba has that connotation behind it, you see, and meaning that Baba is somebody who is far advanced, because he himself says that he's the ancient one. He must be really very old then if he is ancient, you see. So Baba means that, a very old personage. Baba also means that he is tiny little one, a baby, a child. Baba means a friend, our friend amongst ourselves. Rescue Baba, how are you? We say that way. So it's a common term here in India. We use it for Baba. That means everything. That it's all comprehensive. Comprehensive. That's how it is.
So when we say his name, we say just Baba, not Meher?
No, it is better than what we find now. What has happened, there were compilations and books were written out and all that. And in that, what they started using is just making Baba, Baba, Baba mentioned. Yeah. But then they might mix up with some other Baba. With those who have not heard for the any time that he is Meher Baba, then for them to clarify, it is absolutely necessary for us when you are in the world to speak. Because you all are here now, we speak about Baba. We don't say Meher Baba, but when we speak with strangers, we always use Meher Baba. But you all are not strangers to us. You are of the family. So what's the sense of emphasizing on the first name like that? It's the pet name, Baba. Household.
In Ukrainian, Baba is also old lady and grandmother.
In Russian.
Right,
Yeah.
It's a feminine term.
Okay? It's
Feminine.
Yeah, family, like mama.
No, feminine means
Feminine.
lady.
It's a feminine term.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
So you see, all comprehensive.
Yes, that's it.
But at the same time, he told us not to force anybody, because in the early years, what had happened, it did happen like that. You know how the enthusiasm, you can't contain the enthusiasm when you know what is it, and when one is convinced about it, your heart says so, mind also starts to begin to think in that same fashion, and feelings are there and the thoughts are there, they have coincided, and the enthusiasm bursts out. And so we go from place to place and say, who is he? He is the one, you see. Now forget about all Ram, Krishna and Jesus and all that. He is the one, you see. Yeah, remember him. He is the one, you see, and all that. So there is a rift in devotion, which he did not like. And when it came to his ears, he says, beware, what are you trying to do this way? Contain your enthusiasm. I have disclosed this to you, but that doesn't mean that you should disrupt the devotion of my devoted ones, a devoted worshipper of Ram or Krishna or anybody or Jesus. Yeah, there's a rift. You see, you talk about Jesus and that Meher Baba he says he's Jesus. What to Meher Baba, Jesus, means distraction, which he doesn't like it. He doesn't want it that way. He wants a Christian to be a true Christian, a Krishna devotee to be a true devotee of Krishna, true Zoroastrian, true Muslim, like that. So he refrained and he says, if you do that, you are belittling me because I am the same one. That means don't take the name of Krishna means what? Means ignore Meher Baba. You follow? That's how it is. So don't do that. On the contrary, say that Meher Baba tells us that what true worship is, what true love for God is. That will be nice. Yeah, so that will enhance their devotion, their worship and all that sort of thing. That's what he told us. But he says, but there is one thing. What is that but? So then he gave a figure to us. And he said, have you heard of oatmeal? Quaker oats?
Oatmeal, yeah.
What is that?
Cereal.
Cereal, yeah. Have you heard that?
Yes, I heard the story.
Have you eaten that oatmeal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody seems to be an exception here, you see. I've been inquiring, you see, and whether the people from any part of the world, yeah, we know. So he had used that figure, and he says that it was time of war, the Second World War, and commodities had become scarce, you see, and there was no chance, you see. Very difficult to get things that you want or you use or you need. So a British family was there. The only son was fed on oatmeal, Quaker oats. And to her horror, it was the last scoop for the breakfast for the child. So what is to be done? So she wanted the child to finish that, and so that she can run to her stores where she used to frequent to get the tin. But she had misgivings. Is it there or has it been finished? Because not a day had missed, you see, this child. She had all the time given him the morning breakfast with that. So she goes, hurries to the stores, and there to her greatest delight she finds a solitary tin on the shelf of Quaker oats. And she makes a beeline and gets hold of that. The shopkeeper stops her from doing it. No, madam, you can't take that. And the British woman, you see, is so surprised because she is the regular customer. Says, don't you remember me? I always take this. She says, yes, but it's not to be given. No, but please give it to me. If you want little more money, I'll pay you. Don't, because I don't have any more for next day. He says, but it's not to be taken. No, but you please part with me. I know I'm your old customer, you know that, and you know that I always use it. No, but you can't take it. But why not? He says, but because I want to give you the fresh stock that has just arrived, that is stale. Oh, he says, who is the mother, Baba says to us, that will insist on a stale stock of Quaker oats? She would always want to have a fresh stock. I am that fresh stock of the same old Quaker oats. That's how it is. So that's how he said that but came in before. Don't distract the devotion, but remember this. It's for us to remember that.
Yes.